Okay, so this is second video in the puzzle hardware series, and in this video I'll be talking about lube. So after you got your puzzle, after you've seen my first video of what puzzles to get, and you got your puzzle in your hand, and it's not turning as well as you want it to, or it's just you want it to be faster, and you would need lube. There's several different types of lube, and I'll talk about several different types that are out there that a lot of people recommend, but are not actually really good for your cube, and some that are really good. So there's this type of lube, which is silicone differential fluid or silicone differential oil. There's several different brands like Team Factory, Lube, and a bunch of other stuff like that. It seems to be the most popular at the moment. And depends on where you get it. It will cost you some money. And there's Traxxas and some others. Then there's also COC heavy duty silicone or Jigaloo, which I don't have Jigaloo. And COC is really good. It's really cheap, like a couple dollars cheap. And if you go to your local store and look in the hardware, not hardware section, but like the automotive section, and look where they have the motor fluid or the lube stuff for the engine and stuff. That's where you find it. And then there's also WD-40, with WD-40 not recommending you use. There's also Vaseline petroleum jelly, and I recommend not use it because these two have petroleum in it, which over time it will deteriorate your cube. There's also stuff like oil, and I don't recommend oil because, one, it's not really meant to be used for a Rubik's Cube and stuff like that. The reason why petroleum jelly is bad for your cubes is like the original use for petroleum jelly is as for skin protection. That's what it is, not for cubes and stuff. So with that said, like with petroleum jelly, it has a compound in it called petroleum, which if you have it in your cube and you do a bunch of salts of it over time, it will deteriorate the plastic of the cube. Like, it will eat away the plastic of the cube slowly, and then over time the plastic will get weaker and weaker, and then it will be more prone to breaking, and you won't have a very good puzzle. So that's why you want to avoid petroleum-based lubes. Like, if you were looking for something like a silicone spray, then look on the can in the ingredients area of what's in it, and try to avoid silicone sprays that have petroleum in it. And that's for any kind of lube. Yeah. And so how you would do with lubing your cube is there's several different ways, depending on how you want to do it and you want to go for, like, for example, if you have a dyeing cube, like if you're using silicone differential, like if you're using this, and you're using a dyeing cube, you would either could spray in through those holes, or that's for if you're using a cube with these giant holes in it, or if you're using one without those holes, like for example Rubik's brand or something like that, you can just slightly move over layer stuff like that, and then go in and spray in like that, something like that. Or you can actually go ahead and disassemble the cube and then like spray into there and then let it sit for a little bit, put it back together, work it in. Now, what I found with CRC is that if you put it in, like spray it in there, and you don't give it time to dry, or like if you let it dry while your cube is assembled, your the lube will bandage will act like glue. But if you spray too much in, or like do something weird, like spray a certain amount in and then you try to twist your puzzle straight away, it'll feel like this is actually eating plastic and like sort of melting it in a way that will make it unusable. But just let it dry a little bit, and then after that you would have a nice puzzle. But if you go for something with silicone differential fluid, you would just take apart your puzzle and then like squeeze some in and stuff like that. But if there's tutorials out there of how to lube your cube properly with silicone differential fluid and stuff like that, so you can go and search YouTube for it, and with that it will be like, wow. There's also another type of lube which is common, but I don't really use that much because it's not really, I don't see it being that good, which is Maru type lube, which is like in a bottle that's about this big, and it looks like milk, and it like is sort of in between this and oil, which it doesn't have the viscosity of this type of lube, or it's more of a liquid type lube, where it's like really hard to describe, but it's like sort of like milk, sort of. That's how I describe it. So this is of what to use to make your cube faster. The next few series is about how to re-sticker your cube and some other stuff like modding and stuff like that. Please subscribe to keep update with this series and my other videos in the future. So yeah.